Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Ari Talks About Music. I'm Ari, and today I'll be reviewing the new Ancient Death album, Ego Dissolution. Ego Dissolution is the debut album from the American death metal band Ancient Death, and it's one that I really think just kind of embodies everything that a death metal album is and should be in the modern era, given that you already just have that very dramatic band name with the word death already in there, of course, and the very dramatic album name as well. Along with all of the crazy and really gory stuff happening on the album cover, it really just lets you know exactly what this album's going to be before you've even heard it. And then as soon as you press play on the album, the sounds that come out really are no surprise, with the title track opening the album and really just cutting straight to the chase with this epic guitar riff and this super aggressive drumming. I do absolutely love the way the much higher pitched guitar in some of the more instrumental moments sounds, sounding so theatrical and in some ways really reminding me a lot of Blood Incantation, particularly their newest album, just with how theatrical it is and also having the almost slight space rock leaning influences to it as well, which is a sound that is then, I think, even more present on the intro of the following track, Breaking the Barriers of Hope, which has to be just one of the most theatrical moments on the whole album. Although this song does quickly then go into a much more traditional death metal sound, having much more toned down guitars, especially during the chorus. You do still have many of the very theatrical instrumental breaks like I was talking about earlier, which of course are definitely still amazing moments, as well as I think a lot of the vocals on this track are just amazing with how passionate and aggressive they are, with you really just being able to feel the anger. Breathe, Transcend into the Glowing Streams of Forever has these very Gojira-like vocals in the way that they are screamed with such passion in an almost spoken word kind of style. And the addition of a second vocalist on this track with band member Jasmine Alexander does just provide some really nice light and shade, just having these nice almost interlude-y kind of moments on this track amongst all the aggression with much softer vocals. And then another one of my absolute favorite things about this track has to just be the guitar work, with this absolutely amazing guitar riff that has moments of being almost psychedelic and just sounds so chaotic in the best way possible for pretty much the whole song. Journey to the Inner Soul is an entirely instrumental track and just starts off with this beautiful and very progressive intro with these very almost sludgy guitar tones that just make it sound so epic. The way that it builds is just absolutely amazing, feeling so natural and really atmospheric until it really hits its peak, being such a euphoric moment. And then eventually the way that it fades out, just going back to the very simple, isolated guitar, even with no distortion, and the last few seconds of the track just fading out with that sound is absolutely amazing. Echoing Chambers Within the Dismal Mind has a very, I think, startling intro, especially given how atmospheric the previous track was, and then this one just comes in and leaves you with absolutely no room to breathe. However, once you can get past the very harsh intro, this song is amazing, with, of course, the absolutely amazing, passionate vocals that are just so aggressive and yet so beautiful at the same time, along with just how unpredictable the guitars are for pretty much the whole song, always doing something different and playing so many amazing and very unique riffs, which unfortunately is something that I can't say the same for about the following track, Unspoken Oath, which just features this very repetitive guitar which just goes around in circles for pretty much the whole song, and it really just lacks the unpredictability and the amazing interest that you have in where the guitar sounds are going to go on all of the other previous tracks, whereas this one just never changes or evolves and is predictable for the whole thing. However, despite that, I will say that the drumming on this track is incredible, again just being so fast and so aggressive, and I think as far as drumming goes, this is one of, if not the strongest song on the album. And the vocals again are very good, however I think that the guitar is still just a bit too prominent and does distract quite a bit, especially with how well it blends in with the vocals, and it makes it hard to focus on one without the other. But then during the outro you do have this really nice guitar riff on a much more toned up guitar sound, which at least does end the album on a high note. Discarnate is a nice instrumental interlude, being very short, very relaxed, and definitely a much needed break. I do however think that this track being so near the end of the album with there only being one song left does make it feel just a little bit pointless, given that I think that this album could have done with a little bit more breathing room, maybe just a track or two earlier, and again especially with how short this album is, being only just over half an hour, having a very chill interlude like this right near the end does just feel a little bit pointless, I think. And the closing track, Violet Light Decays, is this absolutely beautiful and amazing slow burn, which consistently has this beautiful atmosphere and these really nice and very moody toned down guitars during the intro, and it really just slowly building, and each segment of the track feels like almost its own coherent song. And overall this song just really is an amazing journey to listen to, and the incredible diversity in guitar tones as well as vocal styles on this track is amazing, as it really just sees the band really pushing the boundaries of their sound but still remaining true to being purely death metal. And so I'm just really happy to see such a strong debut album from this band, as they're really showcasing a lot of amazing influence and using it so well, and I think in the coming years they could definitely start to really develop and create their their own very unique sound. And while I think that the pacing on this album can be a little bit inconsistent, overall I think almost every single individual track is still incredible and has easily some of my favorite moments in death metal so far this decade. And so I'll be giving this album an 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this review. Please be sure to listen to this album yourself and tell me your thoughts below. Please leave a like if you liked the video, and please leave a dislike if you didn't like the video, and remember to stay hydrated.